Yo guys, welcome back to another video. So, in the previous video, if we come back here, we were, it's actually down there, we were working on antimatter. And the problem was I'm not producing enough polonium to turn it into antimatter to get the pellet. So, I mean, I have not let this run at all, but one thing I did do was I was able to increase the burn rate to 14.2 without my water dropping, in turn producing more steam and a little bit more power. And I completely forgot that these turbine vents actually turn the steam back into water. So I'm just putting it back into the quantum entangleporter, and then it's just further being taken out of our system here. So this is still burning at the max that it can handle. But in the same sense, we were also looking at the idea of using sodium. So from what I understand, you can get sodium pretty easily. Use that as a coolant in here, and then it's the same thing, but you need a boiler from Mekanism now to turn. If we look at the uses of the superheated sodium, it goes into the thermoelectric boiler here, and then it just gets turned back into steam and turbine, or sorry, steam and sodium, and then you just recycle the sodium back into the fission reactor, and take the steam, you put it in this guy, and you just keep that process going, and that would be a whole other way of producing polonium. So, or sorry, this makes nuclear waste, which we are turning into polonium right out here. So if we come take a look at this, we're taking the nuclear waste and turning it into polonium here. But the problem is we're not producing enough nuclear waste for it to really make an impact per se. So if we come down into our basement, you see it's running. It's just it's super slow, and we're also still not producing enough power. But you see, I'm only at 141, and you need 1,000 for one antimatter pellet. So my idea is to make another fission reactor going into a thermoelectric boiler, and then we're going to send the steam into our same steam turbine. I built the biggest one, and it's not even near limit, like the amount of power it could actually produce. The problem is the amount of steam we're actually giving it. So with that same idea in mind, we're going to do that, produce more steam, which makes more power, and then we're also going to be getting more nuclear waste to put into polonium, which then will get put into this guy here. Also, I had a comment saying what this even was. So this is taking the polonium, coming into here, and then we're using electric base, like Fe it's called, so forge energy, to zap it pretty much. You see the particles. It zaps the polonium into antimatter, which comes into here. Antimatter is then used in an anti-protonic nucleosynthesizer. And you can make a lot of blocks with this pretty much. You can make a lot of stuff. Turn coal into diamond, diamond into emerald. There's a lot of things you can do with this. But the main thing we want is in this chemical crystallizer, which is what this is, to make these antimatter pellets, which again, they have a great bit of use. We need it for this gravitational module, this philosopher's fuel, and I believe again we're going to use this teleportation unit. But if we take a look in here, not that guy. That guy's through AE. We'll probably get into that next episode. But you can see the philosopher fuel itself is used in making the star. So that's one thing we're going to need it for. If we take a look at the ruins, I believe it's the ruins that need it. We already have a bunch of that, but it's used again here to make the pulsating black hole. Yeah. 3 of these gravitational modulating units. So that's just a couple of the uses we need the antimatter for. But the problem is the production of it. It's slow. It's gonna take way too long to actually produce enough. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to get probably most of the stuff we need. I don't want to skip over everything just in case someone hasn't seen the building of it. But I want to get the sizes down, and I just watched a video earlier of a decent size that will pretty much be self-sufficient. So let me get that pulled back up, and I'll get everything figured out, and then I'll be back. Okay, we're back. We're not in full screen. Now we're really back. Okay. So this is going to be a 9 by 7 by 6. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'll start off by saying I am not the one that did the calculations for this one. I didn't design this. I'm simply going based off of, let's see, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm sure we all know who Mr. Rage Plays is. He did this same setup in his Surviving with Mekanism series. And he did all the math for this to operate properly and be of the right, burn rate and all of that. So what we're doing right now is we're building the basic shape of our fission reactor. So we're gonna need some ports. We need our input output, and then we'll go over here again. We'll do those guys. And then we're also going to fill in the top. But we need the fission reactor control rods. So if you don't go there. The best way to do these guys is in a checkerboard, like so. So none of them directly touching. And then we go up. Also, I might need more stuff. This is literally just the leftovers that I had from the first port that I built. Or the first reactor, sorry. And I actually believe we got to go up one with this. Yeah. I do believe this goes up one. This goes up one because the top of these fuel assemblies gets covered in this guy, this control rod assembly, but this also goes inside the reactor. Like so. And we're gonna cover the sides in glass, of course. We want it to look good. So we'll do something like so. Crap. And I don't know. Are we gonna have enough? Oh yeah, I think... Oh, we definitely are. So, if I did build this correctly, when I place this last piece of glass, we should see some redstone particles. Boom. Perfect. Now, we have a fission reactor. So these are the stats. I'll have to go back and watch his video to see everything else he sets up, but I guess we can leave these down here for now. We're gonna need some quantum entangleporters. We're just gonna take them all. What options do we have? We have output waste, output, coolant, input only. So I think we want this guy. Then we want fissile fuel. Set. Fissile fuel, is that a liquid? I think that's a fluid. Yeah. Let's see. Maybe not. Maybe it's a gas. It's full. So, with that in mind, let's clear all these gases. Back. I believe it's the back. So if we take this and go to gases, these should all be blank. I'm saying it's blank because it has that like clearish gray outline around it. But if we were to like hit this with a shift right click, you'll see it's input is red, output is blue, input output, and then none is light gray. So this is now inputting our fuel to be used in here. But obviously if we were to start this up, temperature would spike, it would probably go boom. So with that in mind, how do we make sodium? Well, sodium is made in a electrolytic separator with brine and with a byproduct of chlorine. Don't know what we're going to do with that. We'll probably just vent it to air. It's not poisonous. It won't kill anyone. Us, to be specific. We're in a very lonely world. So let's get one of these guys made up. Thought I had most of this stuff set to autocraft, but apparently not. Most of it, just not all of it. All right, so this guy is going to need power. So we're just going to take that guy, set that there. We want base power, energy output top, auto eject, and then bam. So now we're getting power, right? So let's go with upgrades. We want speed and energy. We'll go speed, energy. We are also... So with this, I'm pretty sure we can only do one channel at a time. So we're going to do another quantum entangleporter, like so. We're going to go with brine. Brine is that a fluid? I think it is. Regardless, let's clear all of these. We don't want anything mixing. We don't want any foul play. Let's see. Mechanical is fluid. So we'll have that like so. Let's input from the bottom. Input like so. Brine, fluid, output on top. Output. And this is instantly getting brine, turning it into sodium, and then chlorine. We want to dump excess. And then sodium also needs to be put into here, like so. We want to output, this is dark blue. You see this outline here? This is cyan. This is like a bluish dark blue. We want fluid. Okay, not fluid gas. Output, blue, top, bam, like so. Apparently this does not output out the top. So, yeah. we are going to, we're going to move this for sanity. Okay, we're back together. Input, gases, output, right? Oop, maybe it's, is this a gas? I can never tell. We'll go gas, output, right? This is a mechanical pipe, which would be for fluid. I can never remember which mechanism pipe does what. Pressurized tube does gas. So this should be now filling with sodium. We're always going to be producing sodium. You see all the brine just went bye-bye. So we're now always producing sodium because we're dumping all the excess chlorine. And we also now have this gigantic buffer here to fill. So with that, I think I probably should have set these up over here because we're going to have our thermoelectric boiler here. And we want these to output that into there. So before we do anything, let's get these moved right on over. None of this stuff is nuclear, by the way, so you are safe to destroy it. That is fission reactor casing. So same idea in mind. Let's see, this one is fissile fuel. Slap her on in. Smooth stone down. Nothing on that one. This one is brine. Where is... Okay, here's our electric. Here is our electrolytic separator. Same idea. We're going to move this guy here. So then we're going to reactor glass, complete, clear this. Then we want brine. Where are you? Brine, we want outputting on the left. Whoop. Input. Okay, and then we want gas output. Output blue left. Pressurized tubing here. For simplicity's sake, we're just going to set that to output like so. Okay, and we are back to putting sodium, our processed sodium, into our coolant. We're not going to turn this sucker on because I'd like to get the thermoelectric boiler set up now. So let me get all of the measurements for that boy down, and I'll be right back. All right, so we are back. We are going to get going with this. This is about the same as this, but it's a 7x7. We're going to leave, I don't know, some kind of gap in between here. We'll say 3 from this block. And then, yeah. So we want what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we want a 7x7x7. So that makes a 5x5 internal, right? Yeah. And then we want it 7 high. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is it 7 high? I cannot remember now. We'll try this. What's the worst that's going to happen? It explodes. Yes, that is the worst that can happen. Luckily, our basement is kind of far down. So this is the basic structure. Obviously, we all know the basic structure. The boiler casing is, you always need the boiler casing pretty much to be the entire primary structure. The walls can be whatever you want them to be. But we are going to do something like so. Our walls obviously can be structural glass, like so. Then we want boiler valves. So, let's get some of these. Clearly, I didn't fully prepare. I don't know how many of these we need. So, 2. We need an input and an output, right? Let's make some more of those just to be safe, because I really don't know. And I'd rather have, you know, more than enough, right? So we'll do something like that for now. And then we'll close this side off. And we need these pressure dispersers, because this is what actually produces the steam. And then we need these superheating elements, because this is what actually heats or deheats the sodium, I believe. I could be wrong about all of this, though. I only skimmed through the video. So this is complete. Let's do that. Connect all the textures. Make it look all pretty. Let's see here. Boiler statistics. You got your superheaters, boil capacity, max steam, max water. If you want to know way more about this and what each layer does and everything like that, I highly suggest watching Rage Plays. He explains this way better than my brain can even comprehend. But if you wanted to make a bigger steam tank, so if we look over here, the steam tank, do we have a number on that? Max steam is 7.8 million. If you wanted that to be bigger, you would have to leave air blocks above it, right? And then for water, water is all the open blocks under here that you see. So yes. So let's see here. We want to output the coolant from here to here, which we're not gonna get more sodium if it's nighttime, because it uses the machines up outside to actually make brine, which makes this guy makes sodium. So this is gonna take quite a while to fill, but let's just turn this boy on real quick. You see it all turn blue. So we are producing more steam than we're using. This is the lowest burn rate you can get, but now we're getting the superheated. This is going up. Oh, we're out of sodium. Turn that off before we make damage, but we wanted the byproduct here. Obviously, our nuclear waste, it's it's just going away. Interesting. So I think it does. It slowly goes away. I don't have our used nuclear waste set up, but this all just slowly kind of just disperses. But I'm gonna have this going to make polonium, and then we need, what's this guy? Output steam, output coolant, input only. So how are we going to do this? We want to output steam, right, into our quantum entangler. Let's output coolant. Coolant would then get recycled into machine. Output steam. This guy, steam set. Steam is a gas. Let's just reset every single side. Steam can be moved through here. We want the back to be input. So now we are inputting the steam that this guy makes into here, which gets put into our steam turbine. Perfect. Then we want to take our superheated sodium and we want to move it across here like so. And the reason we're doing this pipe setup is so these pipes have a bigger internal buffer for this guy. So you can see here, we're taking the superheated sodium, and we're turning it back into sodium. And I believe it's also making steam, but this is pulling the steam out and just recycling it instantaneously. This sodium, though, we want to be able to reuse the sodium because obviously we're not making enough, right? This just, it's not enough. So we want to take it out of here and put it back into here. So we're going to take it out of here, and with that same idea in mind of the bigger internal buffer, we are going to make a pressurized system for it. We'll know we are there when we hit the quantum entanglement. So here's our sodium. Perfect. So we'll take our pipe like so. And we're going to pull it out of the ground like so. Oh, oh. So the coolant tank here, that's what we just set this one to. And this is pulling sodium out. And we are now putting it back into the system. Effectively completely recycling the sodium so that it's not technically fully being used. So I guess this guy we really don't need, right? Oh, we also want water in here. Yeah. Forget why we want water. Probably to keep this guy cool. Look at that. Look at that temperature. So I believe we can go like this, set this guy to water, and fluids on the back we want to output. So fluids output water, and I believe that just fills up over time. You can see it's cooling down. But I think the problem is you want a buffer of stuff in here to meet the burn rate of the other guy. So it's not a lot of sodium, Chief. Let's go check our brine, you know. Let's go see what's going on with this. Oh, gotta run out this door here. So I believe this guy is the one making water into brine. You can see our production, and I also believe you can make a resistive heater to make this go a lot quicker. But in the same sense, this guy's making brine into liquid lithium. I just don't think there's... I forget what we're even using lithium for. Decondensating it into lithium, making it into lithium dust, which is... Okay. We're going to need more of those in the future, so we'll leave this guy. But we might need to learn how to supercharge this guy, per se. So you can see the temp there is 300,000. Temp here is only 1.6. And we are only making 541 millibuckets a tick. We're going to need way more than that. Like, way, way more than that. don't know if there's a way to really speed that guy up way too much. So let's check this guy out. The water's not going up. I guess that's because it's cooling it back down. Can we speed that up somehow? Crap. Guess that don't work. Let's... Oh. You see it drop, but it also caught itself. So is this completely... Is this self-sufficient right now? Oh boy, look at that. So we don't want this guy to get extremely hot now. See, it's completely out of water again. So I believe the way around this is to build a gigantic buffer of pipes to why'd this reset? But anyways, oh. Hello? Output top. Maybe it's just bugged. But we need this for fluids. There we go. Okay. So we need a buffer for this. So if we build just like a temporary buffer like so. Something like this. I believe this might work. I was gonna say that does. Oh wow, that was fast. I don't know how big the buffer really has to be. Beep. But like, we want this entire pipe blob to completely fill up with water. You see 7.9 million, or I guess that would be 7.9 thousand buckets into our 3,000 bucket water tank. And it's cooled down quite a bit. What's our sodium looking like? Crank that boy up. Caught itself. And the water is self-sustained, so it's not going to overheat, explode, blow my house apart. That seems like it's good. That seems like it's good. We are outputting the steam back in here. Or the sodium, sorry. Oh, sodium. It's fighting itself right now. Might be nighttime. You think it's nighttime? No, it is not nighttime. Sodium is good. What's this guy at? Slowly going up. So the stored nuclear waste, let's get that situated. Something like so. So here's how we're doing this guy. We're going to take this guy, right? And then we're going to go back up here. Whoop. And we are going to go over to our porch, like so. We're going to slap down this guy and go like this. Now we have our radioactive waste barrel from in our basement. And what do we need here? We need pressurized tube, which we should still have plenty of. And then we want to extract it all. slap it into this boy. So this boy is now being able to produce, I guess, as much as it really can of polonium here. Getting a pretty steady supply now. What's our power at? Ooh. Was this a higher number? We're still losing power. What about steam? What we got in the steam? Oh, we got a decent buffer. Let's check this guy. Not bad. Oh boy, it's turning nighttime though. We gotta go to sleep. Look at that sun setting. That's wonderful. But we need to sleep. So wait, do you guys know if there is a way of making something so that I don't have to sleep? Like a freaking course. Worst possible outcome here. Oh, where'd my sleeping bag go? Aha! Bastards. So how is this going to affect our machine? I might have to shut this down because our sodium input's still going up. So I mean, I think that's good about this guy. Still max boil rate. Yeah, so I think this is good. We've got our big water buffer here. Stayed the same. This water stayed the same. We are going at a decent rate. Our coolant is still going up. We're obviously producing this, but now we're not going to be doing anything there. So before I turn this up, this burn rate, let me go see what Rage does different, because I have this set up. I think he did something differently. So let me go check. Hopefully this blood moon passes. There we go. So we are back. Been doing some stuff and things. Mainly I've just been letting this build a buffer of sodium, as the shit takes absolutely forever. I'm actually scared to leave this right now, and I'll tell you why in a second. But if we come out here, we have our resident friend. So this guy almost exploded. It got up to like 85% damage, and you could still even see I'm losing water at our normal burn rate. So if we turn this back down, looks like we're now producing more water. And that's the biggest thing right now is water production. Because this is a closed system. It's just one sink. I added a resistive heater to this. I don't have it cranked super high, but this will now continuously make brine even when it's dark out. But my problem is I keep running out of water. So if you guys don't know what my water system is, it's pretty jank. It could probably be updated. I'm not gonna lie. So it's just a bunch of sinks with pipes. And I thought pipes would be the best method of doing this. So you see transferring 10, so it's 1000 MB, which 1000 stands for 1 bucket. 10,000 would be 10 buckets. And this is 32 buckets. So you gotta think these are 10 buckets a tick. So what if we just start replacing them? I'm hoping this solves the issue because I've almost blown up my base like 3 or 4 times now. Shit's getting dangerous. We gotta do this quick too, because we have 2 different reactors running now. It ain't no joke. So let's see. Oh boy. Oh boy. So I don't know what the max limit on these sinks are for transferring fluid. Like, can they do like 180 buckets a tick? 32, 10, 20? I don't know the limit. I might actually have to look that up now. But I really thought pipes would have been the OP method here. But apparently I was way wrong. So these pipes, or these mechanical ones, are now good for up to 32 a tick. So is that mecha buckets and then millibuckets? I don't know, but we're now sending fluids. We're inputting on all sides, gases. We're just gonna close all of these out. But I was sitting down in the basement, just, maybe we'll build this buffer bigger. Maybe that will help. We'll input on this side too. Maybe we can even add more sinks. We got 1 more sink to add. Shabam. Maybe that 1 sink, it'll make all the difference. But this ran out of water. And I'm like, what the hell? I look in the buffer and it was still blue, but it said 0. And I said, aw, damn. So I shut this boy down. I went running because I know the boy upstairs, the big boy, is pure water. This guy is pure water. And you can still even see. Look at it. It's still dropping. Why is it still dropping? It don't know what to do. So we're just gonna drop it way down. So from my understanding, these have its own buffer, right? You can see it's all air because this is still filling with water. Now these buffers are gonna instantly fill up, right? This entire system of pipe I have back here is 1 big water buffer. We're inputting water here. Now I don't think, if you look here, burn rate is 305 millibuckets a tick. So it's not even 1 full bucket. And that's 1 bucket. 10. Right? 100,000. 10,000. 100,000. So that is what, 135,000 buckets of water. If we crank that back to 15 like it was at, this isn't dropping, but this buffer is. The buffer is now 0. And this is going to just drop like crazy. And I don't know when it's going to catch is the thing. Me being me, I want the absolute max amount of water being pumped into this thing because I've rebuilt this thing once. I don't want to see this guy explode again. So I am scared to see this hit 0, but there should be a point where this catches and says, hey, I have enough to sustain myself. But then at the same time, I'm worried about everything else that takes water because it's all on 1 system. So if we go to 10, you can see this is refilling like crazy now. Right? It's going up. What we got here? This is all my excess fissile fuel. Why do I got that there? Oh, this was the random thing I had of fissile fuel from our system. So you see this guy's not using like any, but he's using all of the water. So let's come down here. Hopefully this ain't just completely exploded. This guy is still good on water. So my problem is I'm not able to upkeep the amount of water required. Like that is 110,000% my issue. It's water. How am I able to move more water at a faster pace? If all it takes is making like 64 sinks behind that wall and just pumping it into this network, I'll do it. And then I'll have it pumped right in. I'll have it returning back here. Now, mind you, the water from my steam turbine up there also gets pumped back into the quantum entangle porter under this. So is my problem, am I handicapping myself by the amount of, fluid this can push at once? Let me look that up. How much does this move? Quantum entangler porter. Fluid transfer. So this Reddit post says you could just remove the middleman and put the quantum entangle porter on the import. And a fun fact, transfer speeds with Mekanism are cumulative. So having 4 pipes increases the transfer rate by 4. So if your bottleneck is ever transfer speed for anything, just make a cube of pipes to make it go faster. Well, I don't know what's going on there. But the problem is I'm not seeing a fluid transfer rate. I don't know. If you guys have any suggestions for this, if I just need to hook a ton of sinks to each reactor, I'll do it. I will do it. But that's what's limiting me from turning this guy up. Not even my sodium, build up, because this is pretty stationary. It's not moving. And this is already at, I can crank this boy to 5. And this boy is still going to go up. We're producing a lot of sodium. But problem is, I watched this thing absolutely plummet. I mean, it dropped. It ate all of my water. And I'm scared to eat all the water here because what's it doing up there? You know what I mean? So we'll lower this boy to 2. We will keep it somewhere happy so this guy doesn't get all angry and eat all the water. Let's go check up here one last time. From what I can see, this boy is a little empty. You see, I turned that to 5 and this dropped. That is what I'm worried about. I'm severely limited with water. I guess that's just the issue right now. But the whole idea was to get this guy set up. to make more polonium, to make more antimatter, and you can see it's done basically nothing. It's done basically nothing. If I could just crank that boy up, we'd be good. Actually, let's go check this up top. And we're also using way more power than we're inputting. We have to fix that. This guy. No, this guy's keeping up just fine. We are just handicapped by nuclear waste. And before I end the episode, one last thing. We can craft it. I don't know how long this is going to take to craft. Why is that still? What's this? So that's something I've noticed is my enriched iron isn't working. Ultimate infusing factory. I have this set to make enriched iron and enriched iron. Usually this one will tell it to put 1 iron ingot in here. And this is set to auto input, so 1 iron to 1 enriched iron. And it hasn't been working. We're just gonna... Nice. That was nice and smooth. You love to see it. What are we at with this? Machine doesn't accept item. Oh. We're still crafting a buttload of processors. Holy moly. This is going to be quite the nightmare. Holy cow, look at it. You need 30,000. Holy. This is going to take a while, so I'm going to let my game just idle on this. But I'm going to wrap up the episode here. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you have a solution for my water problem, do let me know. Because I'm about to add like 4 stacks of sinks into my attic. And yeah, I would like to not do that. So let me know, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode. Peace.